So with Shadowkeep being out for about 2 months now, and doing pretty decent, I got to thinking on how Destiny 2 used to be. Not Year 1, that's for another video. In this video, I want to discuss Destiny 2 Year 2, you know, when it actually started to get good. So anyway kids, let's go. In Year 2, there were 4 expansions: Cringy Death Dragon, OK Boomer, Gambit is the Best, lol, and Menagerie Grind Simulator. Starting with the first one, we follow our favorite roguish commander on a quest to quiet down the rioting prison of elders, RIP D1, where he loses a 1v1 against an emo prince, you know, like a nerd, and somehow we make our way to a giant meatball hentai monster. Yeah, that actually happened. And Bungie finally made enough money to actually write some lines for our Guardian to speak.
Aldrin Sov is mine.
Okay, don't hurt yourself, pal. And we go on a grand adventure to kill a dragon, find a dead queen, which sounds really weird to say out loud, but here we are. Now, Forsaken was one of the best expansions ever because of a couple things. They tried to go for a story that was gripping and heartbreaking, and while this might hurt them in the long run, it made Forsaken pretty heartfelt. The Dreaming City was beautiful, the raid was awesome, and the weapon changes were very, very welcome. Remember when shotguns and snipers used to be heavy? Yeah, those were dark times. And yeah, for the most part, Forsaken was a welcome breath of fresh air in a franchise that was quickly becoming dull. Next, we have Black Armory, which is probably the most confusing on the list. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved Black Armory. It was just really weird. This expansion basically just asks a bunch of questions that will probably never be answered, like why does Ada live in the tower if she hates Guardians, and when is Dad coming back from the gas station? You know, all life's great mysteries. But seriously, I think this expansion bothers me because Bungie went from their best expansion ever to reverting back to asking a bunch of questions and answering none of them. It was just really sad to see them revert back to their old storytelling ways in an otherwise pretty good DLC. Next, we have the most controversial expansion in the Year 2, Joker's Wild. Now, when Gambit first dropped, it was met with mixed reviews. Some people loved it, and some people actually play Destiny. So when it was announced that there was an expansion solely dedicated to Gambit, let's just say the community was more than a bit split. What? Now, while the content was a bit dividing, the storytelling was surprisingly good. We have almost zero context on the characters in Destiny, most of them honestly. But this DLC was literally all about learning about the Drifter. Bungie, this is good storytelling. Please do more of this. And P.S., why does the Drifter seem like that edgy emo kid if Destiny had a 90s era? Yes, give me more emotes. Hey honey, I'm making Pop-Tarts, you want some? Get out of my room, Mom, I'm playing Minecraft. But anyway, the final DLC of the year has us being the personal hitman of the Cabal King,
Big Daddy Callus.
And while the expansion itself was pretty good, the highlight of the expansion was definitely the Menagerie. Or at least it was the highlight until Bungie saw that we could kind of cheat the heck out of it and was like, kids having fun? Gotta put a stop to this. But yeah, Opulence was pretty fun, I guess. I feel like we were all so hyped for Shadowkeep that Opulence kind of drifted away pretty soon. But anyway, I think D2 Year 2 was a nice jump forward in Destiny quality. It had its moments that made us go, what? But overall, it wasn't so bad.